What's going on, guys? So I got back from the ayahuasca retreat a few days ago, and I'm on my way right now to bury my intention arrow. If you didn't already see that video that I made the other day, it's a 3-part series. It's not important to watch all 3, but there's a lot of content in there that you may want to check out if you didn't watch all 3. So anyways, I'm on my way to bury that right now. I'm walking on this trail, already winded. So I guess I'll just take you directly to the experience and my thoughts on what happened that night. So the shaman was running a little late. He was supposed to get there around 3. I don't think he got there until like 4:30 or something like that. And then we took the ayahuasca at 6 p.m. And before we took the ayahuasca, he spent a lot of time preparing and clearing out the air, cleaning out the space, setting intentions for the space, and listening to everybody's intentions who were at the retreat. And what was interesting was that he made a circle of safety around the house. He blessed the retreat area that we were staying in to keep us safe and to have all of us stay focused and all that throughout the journey. And anyways, we talked about our intentions, and everybody poured out their hearts before the ceremony took place, which was really beautiful to see, because I don't think anybody really held back before, and it really set the tone for going in to the ceremony with more of an open heart, open mind type of thing. So anyways, we drink the ayahuasca, we drink the medicina, and as soon as we did, it was like something out of a movie. It was so funny. The wind started picking up. I mean, just so fast. The wind started getting really fast, and it blew out the candle that was in the center of us. And the cloud started forming together, more of like a big rain type cloud. And sorry, it's kind of windy out here. Hopefully you could hear me in this video. I gotta switch hands for a second. This is getting hard for me to hold just in this hand. So yeah, we switched. Just lost my train of thought. Anyways, it started raining, and everybody stayed inside except for me and a couple friends. And one of my friends actually went outside. I followed him, and then one of my friends followed me. And I basically wrote as much as I could. I wrote just my thoughts down, everything that was coming to me, because I could feel it a couple minutes after I took the vine, the ayahuasca vine, the drink. And when it started raining, I wrote for a few more minutes and then stopped. And then I'm gonna stop walking for a little bit. And then I could naturally feel the spontaneity of my body moving and breathing in certain ways that I didn't really understand, but I just went with it. I didn't judge it. And I started to move my body in different ways. I took my shirt off because it was raining and wrapped it around this bench that I was sitting on, which was just a big piece of wood. And I started stomping my feet into the ground, something like this. And I started breathing when I was doing that. It was just so in the moment. I didn't really think about any of this. And I was stomping my feet and breathing. as if my body was preparing for what was going to happen. I found that it was more of a grounding type exercise. It was grounding me into the earth. I had no shoes on. It was my bare feet just stomping into the ground. And then I laid my body over this bench and just opened my arms and opened my chest and started to expand my upper body section and just try to breathe deeply. I just try to stay present and breathe as much as I can, because I knew it was starting to hit me. I was starting to feel nauseated and a little lightheaded, if you will. So I continued with that. I continued breathing, and what's going on, man? I didn't stop. I didn't judge any of these movements that were happening. I let everything take its course. And then I went back inside, and I'm gonna show you this view. I think it's kind of cool. I went back inside and laid down for a little bit. And when I went inside, there was this woman that just had walked outside after me, after coming inside, and she was screaming, oh my God, this is fucking terrible. Oh geez, like, oh God. And it was hitting her. The medicina was hitting her hard. And it was funny because the shaman just kept his cool, and he had took a sip of the medicine, the vine as well. And he said, yes, oh my God, everybody needs God. I thought that was hilarious because this dude just stayed so chill. He didn't lose his cool at all. And I saw a boundary that he set up there for himself to protect himself and to protect us, and to not overreact and let experiences take their course and let this vine do what it's going to do. A lot of people refer to the vine as Mother Ayahuasca because it has a very feminine essence to it, what people feel when they take it. And I started to feel that presence because I wrote just a little bit more when I went back inside, and my hand just started writing things that the plant was speaking through me, and I wrote it down, and I might make a video about that. I didn't bring my notebook out here, but essentially it said something along the lines of, you are protected here, you're safe here, let go, yield to me, I am everything, Mother Earth, I am everything. And again, just you are loved, and it just kept telling me that, and it really allowed me to trust the process of what was taking place, because at this point in time when I stopped writing, I noticed that people were throwing up a lot, and that kind of scared me, just hearing that sound over and over and over again. And it was very overwhelming at first, and then when it started to really cycle within my body, I noticed that I was moving a little bit, almost like I was dancing, and I was on my knees at this point when I was watching everybody and the shaman and what people were doing, and I started laughing. I just started laughing at how like ridiculous this all is. Not ridiculous in the sense that like, oh, like, you know, I'm better than you guys because you're throwing up and I'm not, but ridiculous just because of how tense I felt, of how worried I felt, of how I felt like I needed to hold on to so many things and not let go, and always stay on guard. And I laughed a little bit, and I giggled at myself for thinking about that. And I really started to feel more and more intoxicated with the substance that I took. So I laid down for a little bit, and so many things were running through my mind. And the shaman started playing music. It was very beautiful. He had a flute and a drum, and he was singing at times. And I felt the music take me deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And it got to a point where I was in it. I was in another realm. I changed channels. I changed from typical sober consciousness to infinite consciousness. I traveled, and it sounds crazy. It sounds very hippy dippy type shit, and I understand that. And that's why even me putting words on this, me trying to put words and tell you about my experience, I'm dancing around the essence of what was. I can never be able to hit it in words. And that's something that I want you to know if you're watching this video right now. It's like, yeah, you could try to break something down to someone, but you would never be able to feel what I feel, even though I'll try the best that I can to explain it, because I think that you'll get a lot of value out of this. So, it's a cool sounding bug. I was afraid for a second because I felt very vulnerable inside this unknown world. And I think all humans like a sense of knowing that they're going to be alive, that they're going to be okay, a sense of grounding within their mind. And honestly, I didn't know if I would make it out of this journey, but we had come up with 5 agreements. The shaman came up with 5 agreements, and he said, one of the agreements is that you cannot die. You cannot die during this journey. You have to stay alive. You cannot die. You are not allowed to die. And what was funny was that the vine came to me at one point, and it showed me this warm, infinite realm of energy that cannot even be explained, only felt. And I said that I liked it here. It felt like I was almost at home in a way. And I told whatever it was that I was okay with staying there. And that I was proud of the work that I've done here on this planet, this earth. But if it needed me, if my time was now, then I would be okay with that. Because I feel like I've done so much in my lifetime now, but I feel like there's more for me to do. And I just told the vine that, like, if you're ready to take me, then I'm ready to go. But if you feel that I would be of high value here on this planet, then allow me to return. And I just opened myself up to that. And it took me in different places, as in when the music started sounding heavier and heavier and deeper, doom, 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 and the flute started channeling my inner self. I felt like I was walking with a lot of my ancestors. I felt like there was something very deep that I never really understood before, and I learned about it in history class, but never fully grasped it. And I was walking with Native Americans when they were leaving their homeland, their mother, and they were crying and they were hurt because they were stripped away and they had to leave. And I never knew that people that are so connected with the mother, who respect the Mother Earth, who love its essence and try to be sorry, I thought I clicked the camera off for a second. Who try to be the best people that they can. And to me, Native Americans symbolize that. Native Americans, in a lot of ways, show us how to live in a sense that they were so tapped in before their homeland was stripped, before Before this pimp-like entity came into their lives. And whether it was eating off the land, fishing, hunting, giving back to the mother, having sweat lounges, having things that tapped them back into the ground, into where they came from, having things that connected death so deeply to them. I believe that they were so alive because they were so connected to death, and vice versa. It was a twofold thing, and I don't think that we really see that today, and it's sad. It's sad because we're so connected from death. We're so fearful of death, and it just really saddened me that I felt like the world that I grew up in doesn't even know how to live, because we're so disconnected from the mother. We're so disconnected from dying, which is a part of being here, a part of life. And it really fucked me up in a lot of ways, and I just felt this like cringing in my stomach, and I felt for these men who were simply just trying to live, and I think that I really got a appreciation for men who have tried to lead the way and set the example and be a light in this world. And I guess what this experience has really shown me, along with a lot of other things, is that to be a light in a dark world is scary. It's scary because it consumes the light in a lot of ways. A lot of men who try to be lights of this world were murdered and silenced and outcast, and the list goes on, but you get what I'm saying here. And the vine really showed me that I am that light. I am a part of that. I am a part of everything that's going on here. It's not, you always hear about people feeling more connected through psychedelics to the earth and all of that, and I think it's true, and I think it's beautiful, and that's why psychedelics go hand in hand with trauma and trauma treatment, and I'm a firm believer in that. But in the same token, psychedelics have really shown me a piece of my role here with the life that I'm given. And then I started to drift away from that. And I started to go and think about other things and experience other things throughout this journey. And I remember as I was going through all of this, I tapped into my body. I kept coming back to my body because I was doing these bioenergetic exercises. You could call them that. I was breathing and moving and vibrating in certain types of ways, and I was shaking and holding my heart, and my heart was beating fast. And at one point in time, my feet were on the wall, and I was bouncing the balls of my feet on the wall while I was laying down on my stomach, and it was massaging my front side here, my pelvic floor, my stomach, my chest, my legs, my hips. It was massaging me, the movement that I was doing. And I remember feeling kind of stupid for that. I was like, what are you doing? This is so weird. Like, people, what are they going to think of you? And then I heard some guy like fart and throw up in the background. I'm like, dude, people are like shitting themselves and like throwing up right now. Who gives a fuck? Like, just stop overthinking this, just let whatever is going to happen take its course. And I did. And I was coming back to my body in very vulnerable positions. I remember my hips being up in the air, my hips being open at one point and shaking, and these experiences, these flashbacks that have haunted me for a lot of my life came up in really vivid detail. And I let it happen. I just let these things play out in my mind, and I sort of judged them and said, this isn't what you should be thinking about right now. This isn't logical. And then something spoke to me and said, None of this shit is logical. What are you talking about? This is circles. This is the ocean. This is waves crashing. You cannot logically think your way through this. This isn't lines. This isn't linear. And I think what was so profound about that is that I realized, whoa, I live in a I live in a world that is addicted to masculinity. I live in a world that is logical, that always needs the ABCs, 1, 2, 3, the things that you could see and that are almost like stone in a way, immovable. Such as beliefs, such as dogma. And I had a lot of beliefs come up in my mind. I said, like, well, what the fuck am I to do if, like, I can't logically think my way through this, you know? And my body said, let go of a little bit, yield a little more, listen a little more. And not only to myself, not listening to myself, but listening to others. Because my world that I live in is a physical manifestation of how I see myself. And the same way that I don't listen to others in terms of what somebody's talking to me, I often like have this self-talk, like, yeah, I got so much shit to do, I got this, and this, and blah, blah, blah. And I realized when I was thinking about that, I don't listen to myself in a lot of ways. And I tend to do the same thing with myself. If something's coming up inside of me that I don't really want to think about or deal with, oh, I'm off working out. I'm off I'm off talking to someone. I'm off making a YouTube video. I'm off doing something and not really dealing with the issue at hand. And to go back to the circle thing, it's emotion, it's feeling, it's pure essence. And I believe femininity was trying to talk to me. The feminine was trying to talk to me. These are really complex thoughts that visions that came to me, and I'm trying to make sense of it right now in front of this camera, so bear with me here. Yeah, I believe that a more feminine being was trying to speak to me through this vibe, and that everything doesn't need to make sense. We don't need to scientifically break down every fucking thing. We don't need to study everything and how it works and this outer layer of consciousness and all of that. It's good enough to feel it. It's good enough to just be. So I'm going deeper into this journey, and I'm waking up to me like pounding my hand and making these these noises like like pounding my hand on the ground with the drums, the vibrations that the shaman is playing, and it grounded me. It's let me come back to my body. And I think the difference between me and other people that were there at that ceremony was that, like, I do bioenergetics on my own, and I got that from Elliot Holtz. He's the one that introduced that into my life, which is breathing and movement and grounding yourself out, almost like a moving meditation type of practice. And I eat very clean, and I think all of that had to do with me not really throwing up in a lot of ways. And I didn't try to hold anything back. I'm like, you know, if I'm going to purge and let go, then so be it. Like, I'm here, you know, this is time to do the work. But I didn't really cry either. I laughed a lot. And the beautiful thing about laughing and all of these noises that I was making is that it's a form of vibration and breaking up within the body, breaking up of old habits, old holding patterns, trauma, and the way that I was moving and the way that my hips were like vibrating and my shoulders were moving and my chest was expanding, and how I was breathing deeper at times, depending on the things that were unfolding in my mind. My physiology was changing, and it was just breaking and clearing and helping me unblock a lot of blockages, right? I'm gonna check the time on this real quick. So halfway through, I mean, I think it was halfway. It seemed like I was in that journey for eternity, that I lived like 100 lives in several hours. I started laughing very, very hard. Just this big old gigantic belly laugh while like everybody is going through it. And I'm just rolling on the ground. And the shaman was trying to impart wisdom, like, you know, life is, and I don't even know what the hell he was saying, but he was like going in on some real shit. And I just started laughing and letting go, and letting this belly laugh that really has been captivated and held captive within myself for a long time. And it was so beautiful because so many other people started laughing around the room. He just started busting out this real deep laugh, and we're all just laughing at each other and experiencing these really positive emotions and this vibration. And it really showed me just how much I have blocked within myself and that's the beauty about these plants and psychedelics, is that you do not need to talk about every single detail that's fucked up about your life. They know what you've been through, and they show you things and help you out in the way that this vine helped me. And I have to say, this was very powerful, and it's nothing like I've ever experienced before. It was something that was profound and shocking and life rattling, and I woke up from the visions that I had at one point, and I had my hands in my mouth, and I was digging inside my gums and up here and around my tongue, and one hand was on my voice, my throat, massaging it like this, massaging my neck muscles, all here, my throat, my Adam's apple, and one hand's like all up in my mouth and shit like that. And it's funny because I never realized how much tension I have in my face, and my eyes were like wide open, and I was like finger in my mouth, like digging through there, like the first time I ever did that before in my life. And I'm like, man, this is what years of the like dentist does to you. And I still go to the dentist. I'm not like some hippie who's gonna go live out in the woods or any shit like that, but like, it was crazy. I've never went inside this oral cavity here in terms of exploration and feeling inside my tongue and all of that, and how much tension I have locked around my jaw and my muscular system within my face, and I was clenching so tight throughout this process. And also my throat, it was as if my hand and my body knew what to do with my body in which my voice comes out of, because I I talk to you in these videos about how voice has always been something difficult for me. I feel like I'm still trying to discover my voice. I feel like it's always kind of been trapped in here in some ways. And my voice just cracked. Overall, man, it was just a lot of healing that took place, you know. And I've been talking for so long out here. I'm gonna start burying this this intention stick, so I'll show you guys real quick and then probably cut it out there. But yeah, I'm gonna dig a little hole down in here. And if you didn't watch my other video, I really hope that you go back and you watch that, because I talk about my intentions. And my intentions for this retreat was loving my inner child, letting go of past holding patterns, and remaining open to receive positive energy throughout my life. And we'll see what unfolds, guys. We will see what unfolds. So I'm digging this. By the way, I had 2 feathers on my stick here. One I just lost somewhere in that crazy abyss. And I had a swan feather and a red hawk feather. The red hawk feather stayed with me. So here we go. I'm digging this. I think this should be enough room to do this, to bury this. But yeah, anyways, I very much believe in medicine. And I was listening to a video the other day, and this guy, I think he was on Joe Rogan, he's like, I don't like when people call ayahuasca medicine. And he's like, it sounds so pretentious. I think him and Joe Rogan were talking about that. And I'm like, what do you want people to call it, bitch? Like, it kind of is medicine in a lot of ways. Like, people call pharmaceuticals medicine, and I think that's like, a lot of that shit is poison. So I don't even know. I'm kind of just ranting here, but here we go. So I believe in that type of medicine for trauma healing. And I guess the real reason why I wanted to show you this 3-part series is so you get a glimpse of what I'm about and where I'm going with this YouTube channel. And I'm not trying to hold anything back here, you know. Like, I am who I am, and the things that I'm involved with have helped me so much. And I wouldn't be offering this to you if I didn't 100% believe in it with my full heart and mind, you know. The intention stick is on its way down into the mother. And yeah, I really, like, as an instructor, as you know, I teach martial arts and I train and stuff like that. As an instructor, I think it's important for me to be open with people and to show a side of myself that is more vulnerable and what I'm working through, because in reality we're all connected. I think we're connected through a lot of pain. I think we're connected through death and you know, living. But living isn't so much as taboo as this dying process is, and the resurrection part of life. And I think that's what's so beautiful about human beings, is that we can die without dying. We can have these experiences and come back from them, you know. Not saying that this is for everybody, but I think if you have a lot of tension and trauma locked in your body, There are human beings that can help you, shamans and mentors that can help you. But they can only show you a glimpse of truth, of their biased truth. These plants, these psychedelics, they give you truth. And that's the difference. Like I said, I can dance around this experience that I had, and you know, I'm gonna make a million videos in the future about bioenergetics and about trauma healing and all of that stuff. But in the end, man, like it's 100% about experience. I'm done ranting. I think I talked enough. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. Until next time, peace.